What do you say there, cats and kittens? I am here to give you a quick review of important aspects of ACT writing, and we want you to do the best you can so that you can have someone else pay for your college. Before you get started, I recommend taking just a few minutes to do a quick outline. So when they hand out the ACT, read the directions on that writing portion there and take a look at the three options that you have. There's probably going to be a little paragraph beforehand, so you make sure you read that whole paragraph and then choose out of the three options that you have there. Here's what I recommend thinking about. Which option will become your claim? They're going to give you three. Which option will be your claim? Which option will be your counterclaim? You're saying some people would pick a different claim. Okay? So, which will be your claim? Which will be your counterclaim? And then, what are some reasons to support your claim? And what are some reasons why someone else would pick that other claim? Okay? So, even though this is a very quick timed writing that you're doing, you are still shooting for 5 paragraphs. Now, keeping that in mind, your intro and conclusion should be much shorter. In fact, you can shorten your intro and conclusion to 2 to 3 sentences and still cover everything you need to cover. As far as your intro and conclusion go, if our topic is technology, you would start off by saying something like this. Technology is an essential part of today's productive society. I've just introduced technology and why it's important. Now I'm going to go with the counterclaim, refute/claim. While some would argue there are no negative impacts, in reality there are some consequences for a population so dependent upon technology. All right, so in doing that, I have 2 sentences in my introduction. One introduces technology. The second one, in a more complex sentence, gives my counterclaim, while some would argue technology. Then here I come with my refute and claim. In reality, there are some consequences for a population so dependent upon technology. You always want to give legitimate reasons why some people have a different perspective. And you could say, some would argue that there are no negative consequences to technology. And then give some legitimate reasons why. If somebody had that stance, these are the big reasons why they would say that. End that portion by saying, while those are legitimate claims, comma, in reality, there are a few serious consequences to such a overwhelming use of technology in society. When you have the conclusion, you're going to do the same sort of thing, except you're going to, your first sentence will be that, so while many would suggest that there are no consequences to technology use, comma, it is clear that there are a few concerns to overwhelming technology use that need to be addressed and corrected. Then you want to end it with a clincher about technology, just kind of wrapping things up. The counterclaim is extremely important, and your reader should see it mentioned in the intro, in the conclusion, and within the body of the essay. All right? It should be very clear that it's in there, and every time you mention the counterclaim, you should refute it before you move on. All right, don't forget to indent those paragraphs. So when you're done, you should clearly have 5 paragraphs. Okay, do not use I, me, my, ever. Do not use you, your, ever. Don't use us or we. Stay objective. So instead of saying, I believe there have been some consequences,
blah, 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 blah,
instead I would simply say, there are a few consequences,
blah, 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 blah.
Next, shoot for beefy vocabulary. You want to avoid words like good, nice, bad, and the vocabulary that you have been learning in class. Incorporate that into your writing.